What's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel. It's your boy Matt again with another cool video. And on this video, I'm just gonna go through. I got someone asked me about what my setup is and what I look at when I'm trading. The first thing that I look at the bigger chart, as you can see here, is the 1 minute chart. So 1 minute chart for me is really important. That's where where I pick out my entry and exit levels in terms of, okay, what am I looking at? What levels am I looking at, right? But I'm always comparing the 1 minute chart into to the yearly chart, right? If they're sinking, if it looks if it looks as going down on a yearly chart and it's going down on a daily chart, and vice versa, right? So the 1 minute chart I look at. The other important thing that I look at is the 5 minute chart, because I know a lot of people use 3 minute chart to trade, 15 minute chart to trade. I use a 5 minute chart to kind of guide me, to kind of give me an idea of a bigger picture kind of look, right? And I know a lot of people use 5 minutes as well. So 5 minute is here. I don't use it for entry and exits because there's 5 minutes in one of these candles, which means you don't really know what price you're getting at. Whereas with 1 minute chart, you'll be able to pick it up very quickly, right? So it gives me a bigger picture, a bigger view. The next important thing not a lot of people use is a line chart. A line chart is actually really cool in terms of to help you guide, to pick out your entry and exit levels, because you gotta be almost like a sniper with these things, right? If you're looking at here, obviously if I put a line down here, puts it up there. So if you're looking at here, it kind of gives you an idea of a resistance level and kind of a support level, right? This is to help you solely pick resistance and support levels, and where now, as you can see here, right here, 12, 14. You see how many times? One, two, several times. It looks like it helps you pick up support and resistance levels far better than you would on a candle chart, in my opinion, right? So all of these windows are linked to that. The next thing that I have is the time and sales. The time and sales print. Now the way I have this is pretty much, I have it color coded. The reason why I have it color coded is I want to be able, because you're not fast enough to be able to pick the price levels, right? The price actions. So what you want to do is you want to get a general read on the level two, on the time and sales. Sorry, on the time and sales, and that's very important, because especially if you're a short seller, the way I like to short momentum or parabolics is I heavily kind of depend on that level two, and I learned this from a lot of very seasoned traders as well. So when you see a level two and something is being bought up dramatically, that's your parabolic, and you see the level two action, if your video recorded, actually what happens is it actually goes really fast. This level two is like freaking a time machine. It goes ballistic, and you can't even peek the numbers themselves, right? Because it goes really fast. Now what I do is I like to wait. So obviously this is, as I said, it's part of the decision making. It doesn't mean this is because this did this, it doesn't mean it's gonna be that. But I factor in this heavily into when I'm shorting into parabolic. So when this thing is going parabolic and I see this is slowing down, right? Slowing down, or I see print. So the way I have it is if it's above the ask, which is if people are buying it on the ask side or above the ask, so someone is willing to sell it for $9.85, right? If someone pays for it $10, then it would print purple, right? It would be, see 87 here, it would print purple. And when I see a lot of purple prints, usually when something is purple, I do see a lot of purple prints going through. When I see a lot of purple prints going through, I know this thing is just going parabolic. People are trying to just get in there before this thing go out. There's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of hype, and people are chasing, right? So obviously I won't be able to see 987 per se, but I'll be able to see the actual the color itself when it goes through, and if it's going heavily, right? The second color code that I have is for the ask. It's green. Now what that does is it's green. Well, green is pretty much bought on the ask side, right? So which side of the trade, the transaction is happening? So is it happening on the ask side, or is it happening on the bid side, right? So that's that. If the trade is happening in the middle, Sometimes I don't even want to see it, so it's white. You know, it's red there in the background to kind of help me guide. If the spread is huge, right? If the spread is $1 or $2, then I'll be able to see where the actual price action is happening, and I'll be able to put an order to cover for that, you know, middle point. The third one, or the fourth one, I should say, that is color coded is the bid. The bid is red. That's the indicate for me. Red is usually danger. Something is washing out or going hard, or people hitting the bid side. Then you tend to see a lot of red prints going through, right? Which means the trade is now in a bearish state, and the bid is being hit, right? And when it's a panic time and people are panicking, let's say it's offering, people are chasing, people are trying to get out. What you would see is that's below the bid, and I have it colored yellow, and you get to see a lot of yellow prints going through, right? A lot of yellow prints going through. So this kind of helps me make a decision without focusing on the actual number in terms of which direction the wind is blowing, right? That's why you want to know, because you want to be in the right side of the trade. If you're on the right side of the trade, even if you have a shitty starter, you still make money because the trade is going with you. Majority of the people are going with you, right? So that's the thing. And the next thing that I have here is I have the price, you know, the quantity, how many shares, right? And I have anything below, I'm pretty sure anything below 100 bucks, 100 shares, I don't want to see them. So I have a 0. Share size that matters, like, you know, 1,000 plus. 1,000 really doesn't matter, but for me, I want to pick it up anyway. So 1,000 plus, it would show me as a 10, so it's divided by a factor of 10. Now the next thing that I have is the time. The reason why I have the time here is because I sometimes, I actually play halts a lot of the times, and I want to know the hold time. So if it holds at, you know, 1959, then I'll add 5 minutes, and I'll think this plus 5 minutes. That's when the opening hold price hold time will be. All right, so this is the time sales. The next thing that I have here is the level 2. On a level 2, what I have is I tend to use hotkeys. I don't really, unless I need to, I don't really need to type in the price. I usually just execute the hotkeys. So if you can see here, I have, you know, the bid, you know, the font is a little bit configure if you do that. I'll just show you the font. So the font is have a, you know, a bit just regular, but a bit bigger, right? And here I have, what I have is I have the market maker, the price, and how many shares, right? That's what I have here pretty much. It's color coded and everything. The next thing that I have here is, as you can see, I have the hold level. Some people have the VWAP, but the VWAP is pointless. What I did is I put in the hold level, so that if something is going up or about to hold, I'll be able to see what the hold price is, right? Here would show you what the hold price is, right? So something that's going parabolic is washing out, you'd be able to see where it's going to hold. So you don't want to be long into something that is going into hold downside hold, right? Because usually something goes in a downside hold when it opens, it's just going to go, it's going to open lower and go further down, right? That's what I have. The next thing that I have is a yearly chart, right? So I want to see the yearly chart. I do have Thinkorswim as well. So I do have Thinkorswim as well, but in Thinkorswim I have a 20 years period. So I want to see what this stock did in the last 20 years. But this is just the yearly chart. So all of these things are linked, right? All of these things are linked, and they are linked to I'll quickly show you here. So they're all linked to my you know, my my scanner. So let's say this is my scanner. Let's just go back, history, time frame, this morning. Okay, I have several trade ideas. This is a trade idea scanner. Time frame. Alright, so basically when something pops and I hear it coming, I'll just click this and automatically everything changes. Right? So as I said, everything is linked to my scanner, which is Trade Idea. So if you if you pretty much, you know, click on this, everything changed. The yearly chart, everything changed. So you click on that, automatically I change. So what I see is I look at the 5 minutes, I look at the line chart, I look at what's doing the daily chart, and then I look at what the yearly chart is. So I'm that quick to make a decision. So I'm not switching between yearly chart and daily chart and stuff like that, right? I'm quick to kind of be the first. Something pops in my scanner, I'll be able to see it quick, right? I'll click on this and it pops. I'm in or out. So I'll be able to make a decision that quick. Now, same thing happens with my TradeViewer account. But one thing I want to show you here is when I'm in a trade, there's a couple of things that when I send an order, I want to see the symbol, which order I'm seeing at, the price that I'm trying to buy at, how many shares, is it a long or short, and you know the average price once it starts to execute halfway through, right? And once I'm filled in that position, what I want to see, I don't want to see any other mumbo jumbo. I don't want to crowd my screen with too much information, right? So I have the symbol, I have exposure, how many shares that I have, or my average price level, right? The position, how many shares I'm in, the average price, and the last price out. So you can't see it. Yep. So these are the things that I want to see: shares in, how many shares I'm in. So these are the information that I actually want to see when it comes to the trades. Anything else, I'm just not interested in pretty much seeing it. So I think that's pretty much covers what I have here. So as I was saying, but here I also have where I have separate other monitors, because I have six monitors to trade with. So this is the top one. So the one that you're looking at is the middle bottom one. This one is the middle top one. Here in the middle top one, I have 4 charts that are in my watch list that I'm monitoring. Yeah, all of them are 1 minute charts that I'm trading on a daily. So I already go ahead and decided what price I'm looking at, where my entry is, where my exit is. This is just to execute. So I've already looked at the yearly chart and everything about that. Now, if we go to the right here on this monitor, this would be the left side top monitor. This one here, I have 4 charts laying out. So most of the time, what happens is after you execute a trade and you get out, then you hear the same stock hitting the scanner again. So for me, what I do is after I execute a trade, I'll just transfer it there, see if I if there's more trades to be made on it, or if it's going to come back up later on or something like that. This is more like a kind of a follow-up after the trade kind of monitor. Now this one is the bottom left. The bottom left is where I have all of my scanners. So I have different kind of scanners. As you can see, this is my Thinkorswim account. So you have half day momentum. This is where momentum stocks. This is the Gapper scanner. This is where it shows me momentum pre-market, after market, anything that's moving pre-market, after market, and here I have holds. So anything that holds will just pop up here. Now the good thing about this is that everything is linked to the scanner, right? Everything is linked to the scanner, which means so let's come back to the main monitor. So if I click this, so automatically, if I click that, automatically everything changes. All the information that I see here, all the the level 2 time and sales, the yearly chart, everything is linked to the scanner. So if I hear something popping on a momentum chart, I'll just have to click on it, automatically link to the window, so it just populates everything. So you get the information pretty quick. As you can see, this is why line chart is important, because every time it comes up here, you can actually kind of short it, right? You can short here, you could have short here, you could have short here, right? And every time it comes to this area, you could long it, risking that. What you don't want to do is you don't want to touch it in between. You don't want to be trading. You don't want to be going into anywhere in between. You want to be shorting the outer lines and buying the bottom lines, right? But if because the reason why is because your risk is not much, because your risk is right here at a support level. So the game is to sit back and wait until it gives you this kind of entries and exits level, right? So if you buy in here, you want to make sure you take some here but you also want to keep some in case if it rips and goes. But if you short here, you want to take some into the support level, but also you want to keep some for if it goes back down, right? But what you don't want to do, the reason why you want to do this is because if you short here, for example, right? If it breaks this and goes higher, your risk level is not as much because you actually short in very close to your risk level, right? But if you short it here, then gonna have to hold it all the way up here, right? You can't just have a random number as a risk level, right? You have to have a solid numbers like resistance and support levels on the yearly chart to use them as a support level. Because some people would be like, they'll buy it here and be like, oh, 10 cents is my risk level. The stock is not going to respect your 10 cents. It would shake you out. It would, get you out. So what you want to do is you want to use a support and a resistance levels or your risk level as on something that the stock actually respects. So anything in here in between, the stock just keeps going. It's in the channel, as you can see, up, down, right? This happened for 2 days. So anything that's in between, the stock doesn't respect it. If you let's say you bought, somewhere here, right? Thinking that's a bit high. You have 10 cents. It pulls back, you're out. But if you're taking a general area of this area as a short area and as a risk level because you've seen the stock respecting it time and time again, that's what you want to use as a support and risk level. But that's another thing. So the next part is this is the monitor on the right side. On the right side, bottom right. So the bottom right here this is where I have. So I have two charts, 1 minute charts that I'm looking at. So if I have something on my watch list, I'll just pop them here and I'll monitor them as I go, right? As I go. So that's the reason. Here, as you can see, this is my Benzinga Pro. This is where I get my news. If I see something popping, let's say, VVPR, for example, I'll click on that quickly. I'm in, and I'm already knowing. I can already read what the news is, right? So VVPR, the last news was there. So this is how you'll be able to get quickly the news and fast, right? And the next monitor which is the right side top. Basically, this one right here is where I have some scanners, basically some chat rooms that I follow, and also two other 1 minute charts that are off from my watch list. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Guys, thanks for watching, and as always, if you have any question, if you feel like I misstated something or something that I need to improve on, or you want to comment on something, please make sure to comment it below. Like this video, and I hope you learned a little bit and helps you improve your trading setup as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.